Hi, my name is Jack Dangermond, and I want to welcome all of you to the 25th anniversary of the OSRI conference. This is a special year for us. About 41 years ago, this very summer, I traveled to Australia for the first time, and at the sponsorship of a computer company, ICL, and they positioned me as an environmental leader, which at that time, 25 years old, I suppose that was how I was thinking about my life. I traveled from state to state in the capitals. I gave a lot of lectures and talked about early computer mapping and geographic analysis work that I'd done. What amazed me is that I learned much more from the different organizations in Australia and individuals than I shared. Science, knowledge, ideas about geographic information and geographic information systems. It was really a wonderful experience. 10 years later, we started ESRI Australia, which was our first international operation outside the United States. And that was done in association with a company called Associated Surveys originally. And that maybe speaks to what it was like at that time. It was about mapping only traditional sorts of inventory of data and putting it into a computer and making computerized maps. GIS has changed a lot since then. The technology which has enabled the use and organization of all this geographic knowledge is just transforming today the way we think about our world, the way we understand our world. And this is happening as individuals, it's happening in organizations, it's happening in business, it's happening in government, it's happening in universities, it's happening in utility organizations, it's happening even with today citizens and citizen engagement. This is an exciting time for me to see the realization and maturing of GIS and its ultimate implementation and destiny. You're a very important part of that. Your work are the actual footprints that make GIS technology come alive. And as I travel around and I see your work from time to time, last year I was in Australia, very fortunately for me, I'm seeing GIS applied to almost every subject. And it's helping things, even in the context of environmental problems and security issues and business needs for business efficiency. We're seeing GIS being a kind of bright light. It helps us make better decisions. It helps us create more efficiency in organizations. It's creating better communication. We can see what's going on. We can understand things. And understanding is what I think the root reason why we do GIS. Create understanding so that we can do things better. My good friend Richard Saul Wurman says, understanding precedes action. What a wonderful thing to say. And you're all about creating understanding in the world and in your own organization. We're at a stage today, technically, where we're about to move to another generation. This technology on my first visit, it was all on mainframes, ICL computers, IBM computers, and we'd wait 8 or 10 hours before we'd get a batch run of our tools back. Then it went to mini computers, then to workstations, then to PCs, then to servers, and now we're looking at complete transformation of our work into the cloud web environment, connecting all of the desktops and servers that you have investments in through a kind of new network. Our work is focused on, of course, advancing the desktop, of course, advancing servers, and you're going to hear a lot about this today, advancing GIS deployment in mobile and pervasive devices, but also looking at GIS in a cloud environment where the possibilities for collaboration and sharing are great. Collaboration and sharing of your information and leveraging your information within your organization. That's really a great vision. I build data, I share it with my colleagues in other departments and units of operation, and they combine it with their own data and create this miraculous compounding effect of information. But also between and among organizations. 41 years ago, one of the first things I learned is all about, from CSIRO, the notion of stovepiped or sector approaches to planning and development. And that was talked about in the literature and certainly by people like Stewart and Christian in their integrated approaches as opposed to sector approaches for natural resource mapping. Today, in our institutions around the world, we are often sectorially oriented. We know about the engineering department or the planning department, or we know about the real estate section, as opposed to approaching things holistically. GIS, geography as a science, and GIS particularly as a way to look at that information, is all about holism. It's about bringing all the pieces together. It's not about just looking at the separate disciplines. Certainly the separate disciplines are very empowered by the use of GIS. They do things better as a result of it. But there's another game about GIS, which is about bringing it all together. And that requires sharing and collaboration. It means sharing your data. It means collaborating with others who are creating this data and models and analytics. It means bringing it together to create greater understanding. This brings huge benefits. It means that we can approach problem solving in comprehensive ways rather than sectorial ways, rather than doing it the way we budget organizations. It's about bringing it together so that we can see the whole. And in many ways, that's what this meeting is about. It's about you meeting your colleagues in other fields and other organizations, about sharing and seeing how you can collaborate with your information. And also it's about learning from each other, seeing best practices by one of your colleagues in another organization and pulling that knowledge into your own organization. I don't know about you, but this is how I learn. I learn from my friends. They tell me about what they're doing, and I can get a concept of it and try to copy it and adapt it and evolve it. This is how we evolve as a society, is learning. And so at this occasion of 25 years of the OSRI meeting, I want to simply acknowledge all of you for being here, for your good work, and also for taking the time to actually enter into a few days of talking about your work and seeing what we're doing in the technology. I'll close with one vision. While GIS has been largely characterized by desktops and servers and mobile devices, we are entering into a new age, the cloud web age, where all of these devices will be connected and used in new ways, a kind of integration platform. For me, that's about the most exciting time in my life, because we're seeing the platform for spatial data collaboration and infrastructure collaboration emerge for the first time. Not simply for the whole country or for a whole state or for a whole government, but for your organization. This new environment is very simple to use. You don't need to do a lot of study to understand it and apply it. You can learn how to use it in a matter of minutes or hours. You can mash up collective information. The hard work of data collection and maintenance and analytics all still has to go on, and that is certainly the purview of the GIS professional. But at the same time, this new environment is opening up, has the potential to open up for everyone the very work that you do. That means leveraging what you do. And this is very exciting to me. It's exciting because I think you will be realizing your life's work in a new form that helps all of society, that helps you collaborate with other organizations, with other disciplines. And that carries with it some responsibility. The responsibility is about data stewardship and good data stewardship and doing things like good documentation of your data, metadata, and so on. It includes a philosophy of sharing and collaboration, so that you think of your work as not simply focused on your only work, but how you can also serve and work with others, how you can empower the rest of your organization or society in general with exactly your work. This is very meaningful. I think it's where the rubber hits the road. It's where we actually make a difference with life. And your work particularly, I would like to acknowledge and simply say, good job, and do more of it. At Esri, we're very, very proud of the opportunity to serve you with the tools that we're building. And you'll see them in the next day or two. You'll see the progress we're making. This year is a huge leap for us, and thank you for the opportunity to serve you in that way. So have a good meeting down there. I wish I was there enjoying the good hospitality that you've always given me. But I'm sure it'll be a great meeting.